so we can get this rolling. Hopefully everybody's here. All right, as they come here out of the corner. Sorry we didn't quite have the SDK up as we need it. Here we go. Now they're coming down there in the corner number 1, and you see Loveland out there in the front driving that 202. That's that 280, and Jeff Sharp works down there at the bottom. Sorry, it took us a moment here to try to get this up tonight. I don't know what's going on with it. Hopefully that it comes up all right. There it is. All right. Dang thing did not want to come live tonight the way it wanted. I needed it to, but we are here in heat 1 of your limited late models as they roll down there through turn 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front straight away here for your limited lates or this bitchin' 22 night. As you see him go almost 3 wide, looking there in the middle, the 89 ends up touching the right rear quarter pin on the 280. Little bit of ping pong ball out of the corner there. Down there in the 1 and 2, the 280 of Jeff Sharp. Still down there on the inside, the 202 of Zach Love's Nest down there. Heading out there in the front, Mason Hine back here in a third. Alec Uber there in a fourth. Bob the Good back here in a fifth. As you see, Zach rolling away with it out there. Jeff Barker just the field back here having issues. They come around here, and Zach Loves this getting the win here in heat number 1. All right, here we go. Your heat 1 results as they come in here. All right, we see we got Zach getting the win. Jeff Sharp there in second. Mason Hine there in third. Alec Uber there in fourth. Bob the Good there fifth. Jeff Parker there sixth. Michael Machio there in seventh. All right, now. All right, must be in warm-up. Must have had just a small grid here tonight. Yeah, you see them out there, yes, in warm-ups. Yeah, you see the 288 Jeff Sharp out there, Mason Hine in the 89. As we're here from, I forgot Lanier. We're here at Lanier tonight. Your point standings as it stands here tonight. See if I can get into this okay. Your point standings for your limited late models is Dean Reynolds leading the way with 464 points. Jeff Sharp in second with 431 points. Jeffrey Barker in third in points with 370. Armando Malgosa with 289. And Michael back here in a fifth with 237. Small field here tonight. Waiting to see exactly how it plays out here. And roll there through corner 1 and 2. Out of 3 and 4 comes Mason Hine. And yet 202 there of Zach. Rolling there through 1 and 2. We got, just as we said, we only have a few drivers here tonight for your limited late models. Hopefully we have more when we get to the 360s. as checkered flag waves in warm-ups. All right, here we go. Your starting grid for your limited late models tonight. Zach getting a pull out there, driving at 202. 2 is outside there of row number 1. Jeff Sharp starting there in second. Mason Hine there in third. With Alec Uber there in fourth. Bob the Good back there in fifth. Driving at number 7 inside row number 3 with Jeff Barker, who was outside in the 513. Michael Machillo back there in the 147. Rounding out your field there in 7th. Here we go, out of corner number 4 they go. Down here across the start-finish line, 25 laps of distance. Here in the main event of your limited late model, they roll down through turn 1 and 2. The 280 of Jeff Sharp trying to get up there around Zach, but he can't quite do it. The 89 Mason Hine down there on the bottom side, trying to get it to come off the corner okay. As they slide around 1 and 2, the 2 there of Alec Uber up there against the outside. As you got the 89 working there underneath him, trying to get that pass complete, coming there off of turn 4, down through, into 1 and 2. Zach out front, Jeff Sharp second, Mason Hine there in third. As Hine now dives it into 3 and 4, gonna let it slide up out. As he's got the 2 there of Alec Uber right on his bumper. Can't quite make anything happen as of yet. 22 laps to go. Here's the hit into corner number 3. Down here on that bottom side, back off of the corner, down through the front straightaway, in the corner number 1 and 2. Now we got the 89 there, Mason Hine, and then you got the 513 of Jeff Barker out there as well. The 280 there, Jeff Sharp, under fire from Mason Hine in the 89. 19 laps to go. They come across the line into corner number 1. Side by side for second as they roll down that back straightaway. Mason Hine getting that bottom to work here for him as he slides it in underneath a Jeff Sharp. Can't quite get the power off the corner as of yet. Gonna dive it into 1 and 2 once again. As Sharp gets a good run off. Now he's up there to try to battle with the 202 of Zach as they roll there off turn number 3 and 4. Down across the line, 17 laps to go. There with the 89, Mason Hine. They're in third as they chase down that 202 of Zach. Now Zach looks to be in trouble there as they now come around him on the outside. He's going to slide it up, going to try to block Jeff Sharp. That's going to leave the door open for Mason Hine down there on the bottom side. Hine now gets underneath of Jeff Sharp. The 2 there, Alec Uber is looking like he wants underneath as well. Can't quite make it happen yet as they work on down there out of the backstretch. In the corner, 3 and 4. Down there across the front, down into 1 and 2. That's down there below the 89 there. Mason Hine with Jeff Sharp there in second. Working there out of the corner. Upside into the corner, the 280 there. Jeff Sharp trying to get it rolling on that upper line. But Mason Hine still hangs on to the bottom there, coming through 3 and 4. Wants to try to let that thing slide up a little bit to keep that momentum high here in the limited late models, as they don't have the power that your super lates have coming off of the corner. They roll down there out of 1 and 2 down through 3 and 4 now. Across the stripe, 11 laps to go here in your main heat. That Hine gets a great run down there in the corner 1 and 2. Gets around Jeff Sharp. Now he looks to try to power around the like of Zach as they work side by side down that front straightaway. He's got it diving in there now. It's underneath trying to make that car turn. Jeff Sharp right there behind him as Hine is there battling for the lead. The two of Alec Uber there as well in the mix underneath of Jeff Sharp. Periodically getting that nose underneath as you watch him battle it out down that back straightaway. The 89 there of Mason Hines going to slide it up. Zach's going to look to the inside. Jeff Sharp is there as well. 3 wide through 1 and 2 here with 8 laps to go. Down that back straightaway, Jeff Sharp and Zach sitting there side by side as they roll there off of the corner. Now Mason Hine out there in front. Zach there second. Jeff Sharp there in third. And here comes Zach once again, looking underneath, gonna get there. Now here comes Mason Hine once again, 6 laps to go here down through 1 and 2. Mason Hine drives it up there real hard, ends up falling back 3 spots and gets his nose caught. That's gonna have problems there for Mason Hine and Jeff Sharp. No caution, I'm surprised at that. We got one stuck up there in the fence. And Mason Hine can't get it turned down on the pit road. As Jeff Sharp can see him there all torn up. We'll take another look at it here with Mason Hine and Jeff Sharp. Jeff Sharp just kind of became the meat in the sandwich, nowhere to go. And watch him coming there off the corner. You see Hine kind of slides up. And they get underneath him, and the two just kind of slides on up the racetrack, not realizing I think they were 3 wide. Jeff Sharp is nowhere really to go, except across the nose of the 89. So we'll take a look at it here once again. See if we can get another different view at it here. Now here you see it down there on the bottom side. The two just kind of slides everything up. Jeff Sharp's trying to hang it on down, but the two and Mason Hine just kind of sandwiched Jeff there. Unfortunate there as Jeff and Mason end up into that outside wall there at the track entrance. We'll take a look at it here once again. See if we can get another different view at it here. They're coming around here. Lights still on, maybe? No, lights are off. We're going green flag racing. As it's 2 laps to go. Down there through the front stretch. Mason Hine back here at the back. Jeff Sharp as well. Now the two of Alec Uber trying to see if he can get underneath of Zach as they roll through turn 3 and 4. They saw that line that Mason Hine was running. 3 laps to go here. As we'll have to kind of reset a little bit. Mason Hine trying to work his way up through the field. Can't quite get there. He looks like he's showing a lap down here in the back. He is. He's showing a lap down there. And roll down there in the 3 and 4. The 2 there of Alec. Down there trying to roll on down through there. Final lap there for Zach as Zach looks for the checkered flag coming out of turn 3 and 4. It will be Zach in the 202 getting the victory tonight from Lanier. Great run here by these drivers tonight. Now we got Zach finishing first, Uber there in second, Barker back here in third. Well, here is your feature results. Zach there in front getting the win. Alec Uber there in second, Jeff Barker there third. Fourth, Michael Vecchio. Bob DeGood there in fifth, Jeff Sharp there in sixth, Mason Hine in seventh. Why are we not here? All right. Don't know why we didn't switch rooms there. That's where I should be. See if we can get with any of our victory winners here. So we're waiting to see if we got any drivers here to come in for their interview. Zach, Alec, and Jeff Barker, your winners here tonight in the limited late models. Hey, see you there. Great battles all over the track here tonight, especially out of Mason Hine and those up front. You got Zach up here on that outside lane, bringing home the victory here tonight from Lanier. Alec Uber, Jeff Barker. I think I got a little bit of backfeed there off of the mic, but we got that fixed as they leave now. So, not seeing anybody around. We're going to go ahead, take our commercial break. We'll be back here with the 360 wing sprint car here in just a moment for your Mission 22 Hometown Heroes.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. That just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
say it's a matter of time. 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far. I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back to you. My love is a river long, the best ride in a million rows. I know I'm coming back to you. I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me.
Checkered flag is out for Spangler as he comes across the line here.
The 217 coming off of 4. It'll be hit.
Coming there on 3 and 4. Salas gets win number 2 of the night.
Randy Shreves from 19th to victory.
The cars 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win. It's going to be Shreves getting the win.
He sees the checkered flag win. Give it to William Watson.
All right, we're here with the 360 wing sprint cars for your hometown heroes from Mission 22. Right there out on track right now is the likes of Brian Moore. We got Bob the Good, Mason Hines, Zach, and Alec out there. Small fields tonight. I wonder where everybody's at. I want to work here off the back stretch there through 1 and 2. Looking at the 7 of Bob the Good. Looks like we have 5 drivers signed up at the moment. So small field. They're out of turn number 2. There you see the 2 of 2 of Zach working down that back straightaway. No laps for him or counting at the moment, as he does have a black. Most likely speeding in pit road. Watch him work there off turn 2, down there through turn 3 and 4. Got Mason Hine out there in the 89. Watch for participation here. Look in there. Coming out of turn 2. Mason Hine up there on the middle of 3 and 4. Still taking a few laps around the raceway. We got another one coming in. That is John Klamalix Jr. coming in. Now we said low car counts here tonight. Would like to see them get higher. They got the 89 working up off the corner down there through 1 and 2. All right, now we got 6 drivers here at the track. And we got Ted York joining us. Out there in the 09. Okay, watch them roll out of turn 2, down that back straightaway. Brian Moore out there in the 55, currently looking there at John Klamalix. So we're now up to 8 drivers. Then we got Jeff Sharp coming in. watch these drivers coming out of corner number 2. There you see Ted York out there on track. John Knox Jr. out there, Alec Uber out there. Everybody's put times in so far. Now you watch them roll out there onto the backtrack. Wait to see when we're going to go ahead and move into qualified. There you see Ted York here at the Near Speedway tonight. Your winner in the limited late model, Zach, out there in that 202, trying to find that groove here in the 360s.
So the first title was
Down there off of the infield, you see him. That Brad Moore in that 55. Best times out there on track. You see Bobby Good with an 11.216. Ted York there with an 11.359 sits third. Brian Moore in second with that 11.228. They work there along the top edge of the speedway, down there across the front. That last lap, we'll see here what it comes out to be. At 12.02. So the track, I would say, definitely lost some time to it. And it got worked in here a little bit. You got it down to an 11.87 is what he had there for that last lap. A 55 there, and then you see the 89 on pit road there. Mason Hine, the 202 there is Zach. You got the number 2 there of Alec Uber. Jeff Barker coming in here in the 513. Oh, Jeff Barker, as he pulls in here, he'll make 9 drivers here tonight, ready to go for the 360 wing sprint division. Clemaux Jr. with a 12.073 here tonight. This is what he put down here in practice. We're waiting here. We'll go ahead and take a look at your points for your 360 division. And it looks like Jeff Sharp is your current leader with 420 points. Jeff Barker, he's there at 359. Dean Reynolds with 354. Tad York with 286. And Mason Hine with 267. That is your top 5 of your 360 sprint races. You see him there getting ready. Everybody's there. Jeff Barker's still trying to get his rig in here. Hey, Clemaux Jr. there. There's Jeff Sharp in the 280. Zach, you got Alec Uber. Mason Hine. Ted York back here towards the back of the pits. That's a 280 of Jeff Sharp back here, the last car in line at the moment. That's the 034 there of John Clemaux Jr. We're waiting here on these drivers to get started. All right, they're going to be starting here in about 10 seconds. So the countdown is on here for the 360 wing sprint division. Now looks like we got 9 drivers here for the 360 wing sprint. And so with that theory, I think we're only going to have one heat race once again. Hey, Alec Uber there in pit. Zach Lobsnitz there in 6th. Jeff Sharp in 7th. John Clemaux Jr. there in 8th. Lobsnitz is there in 6th. Lobsnitz, I'm not sure exactly how you say that last name, but Zach there in the 202. Qualifying commencing here for the 360 wing sprint. And as always, the top 4 of each heat will be inverted, but I think we're only going to have one heat here. Okay, what roll on out there. We got them going. As you're watching Ted York out of Camden, New York. Mason Hine out there. As you see Ted York sitting in the pink right now on an 11.407. Quick time right now for him. And he rolls there off turn number 4. And he's going to be with an 11.407 for his time here tonight. Alec Uber out there. He has an 11.512. Bob the Good. Jeff Sharp out there. Zach trying to lay down his time. There, as he's currently got an 11.898. He'll get an 11.737. There you see John Clemaux with an 11.450. Brandon Dittmer getting in here under the wire. Driving the 83 here tonight. Makona, Iowa. He rolls there in the 3 and the 4. Time for him is going to be 11.425. That'll get him up there in the second right now. As you watch him come there out of corner number 4. He will be there with an 11.446 for that lap. So Dittmer with an 11.425. All right, here we go. Starting here tonight with your 360, your heat race. It's going to be John Clemaux Jr. starting on pole. Bob the Good there in the second. Second row inside, going to be Brandon Dittmer in the 83, starting third. With Ted York in the 09, starting to his outside. Row number 3, going to be Alec Uber there in the second. Mason Hine there in the 6th. Row number 4 on the inside. In 7th is going to be Jeff Sharp with Zach to his outside driving at 202. Row number 5 on the inside is Jeff Parker driving at 513 with Brian Moore there in 10th. They're getting ready for the green here as they get set to rock and roll. Lights are out on that pace machine. Now they roll down that backstretch. Side by side, John Clemaux has the lead. He's going to be the car out there controlling the field as they come here off of 4. Green flag out there down and away. Ted York goes up there to the high side. Going to try to keep the momentum running. There comes the 7, Bob the Good. Looking to the inside of John Clemaux. Can't quite get there. He does now. As they roll up the racetrack, Clemaux Jr. gets shoved up a little bit. Got to kind of recollect it there. They roll down through off turn number 3 and 4. 3 wide there at the back. Try to keep an eye on that as Zach is there in the middle of it all. Alec Uber, there you see Mason Hine in the 89. In the middle of it all as well. And you see Ted York there third. 3 laps to go here in the heat race. I think up here out of turn number 2 down that back straightaway. Ted York rolling out of turn number 4. Trying to get up there to battle for second. As they slide there through 1 and 2. Position 1 and 2. Brandon Dittmer and Bob the Good out there as they battle side by side. Down through 1 and 2, as you see, Dittmer trying to get underneath of Bob the Good. Final lap here as they roll there off turn number 4. Can't quite get there. Ted York gets right there to the bumper, but it's going to be Bob the Good getting the win here in the heat race. Waiting on your heat results to come in here. All right. Heat 1 results. It's going to be Bob the Good getting the win. Brandon Dittmer there second. Ted York third. Mason Hine there fourth. Alec Uber fifth. Jeff Sharp sixth. Zach there in seventh. Jeff Barker eighth. Brian Moore there ninth. And John Clemaux Jr. there in 10th. All right, now as we get going here, we will be back in just a short moment.
Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season.
Back here at the Speedway of Lanier. Hey, welcome there off up 2 down that back straightaway. These drivers getting ready here. Checker flag waves and warm-ups. Here we go, your starting grid for your main event. It's going to be Mr. Bob the Good starting on the pole. To his outside of row number 1 is going to be Brandon Dittmer at number 83. Row number 2 on the inside, it's Ted York. There in number 9, Mason Hine in the 89 starting there in 4th. Row number 3 on the inside is going to be Alec Uber driving at number 2 with Jeff Sharp there in 6th. Driving to number 280. Row number 4 on the inside is going to be that of the 202, driven by Zach, starting 7th. Starting there in 8th to his outside, Jeff Barker in the 513. Back here in 9th, that's going to be on the inside of row number 5, Brian Moore Sr. with John Clemaux Jr. rounding out your field in 10th. These drivers head off here, ready to get it back underway. You can see Ted York there in 3rd. Down there on the bottom side, he started 4th in the heat. Was the fastest on the track in qualifying. Down there through the front straightaway they go. One more time around here, they'll get green flag. Now you see the 83, Brandon Dittmer way up in the fluff. Now they work down that back straightaway. Heading off here, you see the pace car go down here onto the infield. Down off the front stretch they go in the corner number 1. Up there to the high side, you got the 89 there, Mason Hind working down the back stretch. In the corner 3 and 4, up there against the top side, look out. Here comes the 83 and Brandon Dittmer trying to find his way to the front. Will do so, getting around the 7 of Bob the Good. We got about 23 laps to go here. They come out of turn number 4. Coming across the line, 23 laps to go. Now you're watching that 280 there. Jeff Sharp, Brandon Dittmer out front. We're there. Oh no! The 7 of Bob the Good ends up off of somebody's right wheel. And ends up into the catch fence here coming out of turn 4. Oh, there you see it. Ed York working underneath him. Down there through turn 3 and 4, drives it in and just ends up giving him a good right rear up into the outside fence. I don't think that was intentional, but it does hurt and suck. As you see, Ed York drives it in there, and just unfortunate, just not enough to keep it down. Then sends Bob the Good up there into the outside catch fence. Now, I did see something here about Zach. We'll see if something happened here with him. Here with the 202 down there on that inside. And he gets... Oh, and the 2 of Alec Uber goes for a ride. Working now here off of the corner, getting lined back up side by side. After our first caution, cars everywhere. Bob the Good up into the outside catch fence. Sitting there out on track now. Brandon Dittmer out there. Well, Zach in the field there. Waiting on a tow. Over got his back together as well after taking a ride there down the front stretch, end over end. Dittmer there through turn 3 and 4. There they work off. As you see that 280 there, Jeff Sharp up there on that high side. He's got that 34 of John Clemaux Jr. underneath him, and they roll that through turn 3 and 4. Working down through the front stretch there with the 513 now. Of Jeff Barker looking underneath. And Brian Moore up there in the 55 is on his outside. Through turn 3 and 4 down that front straightaway. Barker trying to make something happen down there on the inside. As you see, Dittmer out front. Ted York trying to chase him down. And doing so, looks like up there on that outside lane. Lost some there through 1 and 2. He'll gain it back here through 3 and 4. So he's running the top, and Dittmer's kind of running middle through 1 and 2. Running middle through 3 and 4. Ted York running middle through 3 and 4 as well. I think Ted York needs to try to get down a little lower through 1 and 2. If he wants a chance at getting up there in a battle with Dittmer. Dittmer just doing a better job hanging it there just on the edge of that slick. Keeping that right rear in the moisture. There you see Ted York working that outside. There you go. There's a much better line through 1 and 2 for Ted York. Down through that back stretch they go with Mason Hind here in third. John Clemaux Jr. down there on the inside. Through 3 and 4. Ends up taking a high side through 1 and 2. Zach has called it a night. They work there off turn number 4. Ted York still out there in second, trying to chase down Dittmer, but Dittmer has put a little bit of space between him and York. He rolls through turn 1 and 2, back down that back straightaway. that Venom racing machine, out there leading the way at Lanier tonight as they roll it on here in through 1 and 2, back down that back straightaway. Ted York there in second, Mason Hine in third, John Klamalix there in fourth, up six positions. Alec Uber having issues once again here. Trying to figure out what exactly happened here. Hey, Alec Uber there and 55. Brian Moore. Up there on the top side, they get together a little bit as the two ends up around. Caution number 2 here in your 360 wing sprint machines. You know, say I think Brian Moore got him a black flag for the way he entered pit road there. Working there off the corner. Green flag in the air here in the corner 1 and 2. I just see Dipper up there on the top. Ted York there in second. Mason Hine there in third. Now we're through 1 and 2, 6 laps to go. Battling down that back straightaway here through 3 and 4. Ted York second, Mason Hine there third. Now John Klamalix up to third there as he works around Mason Hine. Mason Hine down there on the inside. Okay, John Klamalix making a great run up there against that outside wall. Ted York there in a second. You see Dittmer trying that high line now. Ted York starting to run still that middle lane. Looked like he was closing in a little bit there on him as they worked there through turn 3 and 4. And it does look to be Ted York closing in here with 2 laps to go. Under a half a second here. Now under a quarter second as they work there out of turn 4. Final lap, Ted York there on the bottom. Can't quite get there though as they work there out of turn number 4. Down there on the bottom side, it's going to be Brandon Dittmer, your winner here in the 360s tonight at Lanier. Your top 3 here in the 360 wing sprints is going to be Brandon Dittmer, Ted York, and John Klamalix Jr. There is your official results. Brandon Dittmer there getting the win. Ted York second. John Klamalix Jr. there third. Mason Hine there fourth. Bob McGood there in fifth. Jeff Sharp in sixth. Alec Uber there in seventh. Jeff Barker there in eighth. Brian Moore in ninth. And Zach back there in 10th. We got Ted York here. Oh, there we go. John Klamalix. We'll start with him. Good evening there, John. How's it going?
Going good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. That car looked pretty good up there on that high side late in the race.
Yeah, it was tough starting 10th, man, but found some good groove up there, and it was just going pretty good.
Well, you did a great job coming up through the field. I just said starting back there in 10th, I believe you said, and finishing third. So that you came up through the field pretty good tonight.
Yeah, I didn't run out of talent for once. Usually I'm too heavy on the gas, and I'm sick of my son beating me, so I got to start working on that.
You did a great job here tonight, and you got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank for getting third place?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to thank my son. Him and I are a father and son team. We call ourselves Bloodline Sim Sports. I'd like to thank Mission 22, and I'd like to thank you for hosting the race. And good job to Brandon and Ted for a great race. I think a few more laps. I think the old hot rod might have had something for him.
Yeah, he very well may have. Great job there, John, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks. Have a good one.
I was John Clamaux. Now we'll get with Ted. Good evening there, Ted. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you, Adam?
I'm doing very well. Man, I thought maybe you were going to close that gap up a little bit more than what you did.
Yeah, that was about all I had. I struggled a bit in 1 and 2. I felt really good in 3 and 4. And he was a lot better in 1 and 2 than I was.
Yeah, it seemed like you pulled him in there in 3 and 4, just he would gap you a little bit in 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's what I felt like anyways.
And that's kind of what it was looking like here in my cameras also, because you'd get right on his bumper heading into 1, and then he'd take a little bit different line and to 1 and 2, and just seem to get a little bit more in front of you.
Yeah, it seemed like no matter what I tried, I couldn't figure out 1 and 2.
Oh, that's dirt track racing. I mean, the track's constantly changing, and no 2 races on the dirt or on the same track are the same. That's for sure.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, I remember we ran here a few weeks ago, and it's way different from what it was a couple weeks ago.
I think that's the beauty of dirt track racing, though. I mean, because you have to keep almost on top of the changing track conditions, which differs completely from asphalt.
Oh yeah. I mean, you're racing the track, and as well as the fellow guys out there.
Makes for a great fun time, though. I will say that much.
Oh, I'm having a blast.
So you got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting second place tonight?
Oh, I shout out the guys over at SSR, School of Sim Racing, National Auto Racing Club, and Mission 20, and Regal Wraps and Designs for putting this on, as well as you for broadcasting it.
Oh, it's our pleasure, and hopefully we'll see some cars out there for the midgets here in just a little bit.
Yeah, I might show up, I might not. I haven't decided yet.
Well, I know some people are probably following the NASCAR qualifying, too, that might be going on right now.
Oh, yeah, that's tonight?
Yeah, that's tonight, and then the Doles are tomorrow night.
Oh. Shows you how much I watch NASCAR.
That's oval stuff, right? I mean, it'd be more interesting if it was dirt.
Yeah, I mean, you sex at, Ocala tonight?
Well, great job there, Ted, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, we'll see you. Thank you.
All right, that was Ted York there in second tonight. Brandon Dittmer, you're a winner here. Good evening there, Brandon. How's it going?
Not too bad yourself.
It's going really well, man. How are things with you?
Oh, not too shabby. Just decided to do a last-minute join, and guess it kind of paid off for me.
Yeah, we noticed you got in here just under that wire.
Yeah, popped in and said I had a minute left to qualifying, so I'm just like, well, crap. Just jump on out and get a lap in.
Well, you did a great job. You got up there in the lead here during the main event, and great job getting that Venom racing machine out there to victory lane.
Yeah, thanks. I just knew right off the rip, getting the lead early and controlling the race is going to be what I had to do, and don't really know what happened to Good. All of a sudden, I just came around caution, and he was wrecked up against the wall. That's unfortunate because Bob has been racing pretty good lately.
Yeah, I think York and him got together.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, I think because if I looked at it right, it looked like Bob ended up going over top of the right rear of Ted.
Ooh.
So, unfortunate, but, you know, he still came back and finished fifth, so hopefully not too hard feelings there, but, I mean, it's tough racing.
Yeah, especially this track, you know, you kind of get, unfortunately, just like a one-lane track today. With the low car count, kind of just doesn't help, or the track doesn't work in how we want it to. But I think we made do with what we had, and going on I-55 with midgets, and hope for a good race.
All right, well, you got any other sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for getting that victory?
Oh, you for broadcast, everybody behind the scenes for Coast to Coast, all the sponsors making the broadcast possible. Venom Racing, all the boys over there, great group of guys. Ted York for up there running with me and keeping it clean. JRB Designs for the wrap, he did an amazing job. Go check him out. And I think that's it.
Well, great job getting that win here, and hopefully we will see in more races here to come.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be around a little bit more, but we'll see what happens. Life always comes up.
Ain't that the truth? So, all right there, Brandon. You said you might be at I-55 for the midgets tonight?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All righty, well, good luck there.
Thank you.
All right, Brandon Dittmer, your winner here for Venom Racing, taking home the victory in that number 83 360 wing sprint here tonight. Don't go anywhere. We got more racing to come after these messages.
1, 2, 3. I love it, Molly.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
Our love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turned into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, we've seen how it changes people.
All right, so we got 3 drivers here for your midgets. Wish we had more. But it is what it is. Barker, DeGood, and Dittmer. Your midget points are Jack Kitt leading them with 447. Jip Barker with 419. Brandon Templeton with 335. Bob DeGood there with 328. Jack Clevenger in 5th with 353. Qualifying underway here tonight. As you see here, average coming around I-55 tonight. Trying to find out the best camera view here. They come down off of 2, down through 3 and 4. Bob DeGood out there, setting down a good time of 12.813, but Bob DeGood comes through a little quicker with 12.801. As Dipper tries to gather it in there, and he will with a 12.674, but Bob DeGood with a 12.643. There you see Jip Barker with a 12.652. Qualifying comes to an end. Your heat race, your 3 drivers here tonight. Starting off here in the pole position is going to be Brandon Dittmer. Jip Barker to his outside there in 2nd, and then Bob DeGood starting inside row number 2 there in 3rd. Only 3 drivers that take on I-55 tonight. down there off a turn 2 back on the, I'm sorry, turn 4 back onto the front straightaway. One more time around, and then we'll be back. Green flag racing here. And we get the midgets underway. They head off of turn 2 down there in the corner, number 3 and 4. Lights are out, green flag in the air. And they are down and away in the corner, number 1. Side by side there, you just see Bob the Good down there on the bottom. Dittmer way up there to the outside. Great run there through 1 and 2. Jeff Barker up there on the outside as well as Bob the Good's trying to find that line there. Uh-oh, Dittmer into the outside lane. Jeff Barker checks up a little bit so he doesn't run into him. There they run through 3 and 4, back around here across the front. 3 laps to go here, or 4 laps to go rather, here in the heat. Dittmer into the outside wall, uh-oh, and that's going to collect Jeff. Up there into that outside wall. Dittmer got to try to collect it back together. Not seeing if anything's broke there, but that hands the lead over to Bob the Good. He heads there through 3 and 4. Back out here across the stripe, 2 laps to go here in your heat race. Jeff Barker still holds on to second, as Dittmer has to try to gather it back up. And that car just all kind of problems there for him as he's down there on the inside. He will take it back to the pits. As Dittmer had the fastest lap here in the midgets, as the final results are in. Bob the Good, your winner here tonight in your heat race for the midgets from Regal Wraps and Designs. Waiting on our Heat 1 results. There we go. Bob the Good getting the win. Jeff Barker second and Dittmer there in a third. We'll be back after this short commercial break.
Precision is our language. Creativity is our weapon. And perfection is the only option. Your ride, your brand, your image, elevated to a level that can't be ignored. This isn't just a wrap, it's a revolution. Regal Wraps and Designs, where power meets style, and style becomes unforgettable. At Regal Wraps and Designs, we don't follow trends, we set them. Every line, every finish, every detail is built to dominate. From flawless vehicle wraps to bold custom designs, we take your vision and redefine it. Seamless statements, artful accents, hues of harmony. We are Regal Wraps and Designs. Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season.
All right, here's your starting grid. Bob the Good starting out there on pole. Jeff Barker there in second, and Brandon Dittmer in third here tonight. And they get set to rock and roll here from I-55. 25 laps the distance. Dittmer's been your fastest one all night long. We'll see if he can get back up there as he had trouble in the heat race. There, side by side, there you see Jeff Barker on the outside, Bob the Good there on the inside. Dittmer starting there third. Only 3 drivers showing up tonight. Wish we had more. If you want to check them out, it's C2CRL.com. Green flag in the air, down the front stretch they go into corner number 1 and 2. Heading back out here onto the back stretch. Bob the Good doing a great job getting out there to an early lead. Here comes Dittmer though on that inside lane, trying to get up there to battle with with Barker. They work down there through 1 and 2. And off 3 and 4 here. Now you see Dittmer down there on the bottom side, getting underneath of Bob the Good. He got around Barker. Barker now back here in the third. As Dittmer is sliding around, he's got to be careful as he met that outside wall a couple times there during the heat race. He don't want to do it again, that's for sure. Getting close there coming out of turn 2. They up there way again coming there off turn number 4. Got to try to reel it back in, back down there onto the bottom. Bob the Good doing a great job down there on the bottom side. Barker's there in second. There you see Dittmer now trying to reel it in and get back underneath of Barker. Back there for that second spot. There you see Dittmer getting the hang of it now. Now Barker getting into the outside wall just a tad there. Working down through the front stretch here in the 1 and 2. Back out here onto the back. As they are single file, you see Dittmer trying to work his way up there through the field. After a problem in the heat race, sent him to the back. Now they head here out of 2 down the back straightaway. Dittmer trying to hang on. Sliding it there through 3 and 4. He's the quickest out there on track as he's got a 12.61. Bob the Good has the next fastest with a 12.62. And see that gap there between first and second, about 0.8 of a second. Three-quarters of a second there. They bring it on through 1 and 2, back onto the back straightaway. And Bob the Good hangs it out there, doing a great deal of driving out there in front. 13 laps to go. Here they come through in the 1 and 2. Down that back straightaway. Everybody single file here. As you watch Dittmer there in second, trying to get up there in the front. As he's chasing down Bob the Good. Here as it's now under a half a second. Well, it was under a half a second gap. I just slid it way up there out of turn number 2. Here out of 4, he's got it now down to 0.6. Floating around a half second now. They dive it back into 3 and 4. Back out here onto the front stretch. 11, now 10 laps to go. As you see Dittmer riding that wall down there on the inside. Sliding it up off, going to dive it back into 3 and 4. Looking underneath of Bob the Good now. Dittmer had issues, as we said, in the heat race. Ended up getting together with Jeff Barker. and into the outside wall. So had to recollect it. As you see, he's got it now under a tenth of a second here. Quarter of a second. Trying to get around Bob the Good. Now he worked down through that front straightaway. As they work their off. Down in the 1 and 2. 6 laps to go. Dittmer still hanging on to second. Trying to find a way to get around Bob the Good. Bob the Good just running his race there out front. Looks like he's doing a great job hitting his marks. Dittmer looking to the outside. Here's it comes through 3 and 4. Ends up 2 sideways. Oh boy! Dittmer now has problems there with Barker once again as he's up there on the outside lane. 4 laps to go. That might end up giving it there to Bob the Good as Dittmer ends up into the outside wall once again. There behind Barker, 3 laps to go. As you watch, coming here off of 4, now 2 laps to go. As Dittmer battles it back, trying to get a hold of that car once again. They work there through turn 3 and 4 with Bobby Good out there in front. Final lap here at I-55 as they head on down the back straightaway. Mr. Bob the Good, he's going to come around. He will get the victory here at I-55 tonight. Mr. Bob the Good, your winner. All right, here we go, coming off the corner. Your results here tonight. Bob the Good getting the win. Barker there in second, and Dittmer in third. All right, here we go. Oh. Try to get this cooperate here, and it didn't want to at first. So there's your winners. We'll go and get with Brandon Dittmer there in third place. Good evening there, Brandon. How's it going?
Not so bad yourself.
It's going all right, man. That track seemed to have it in for you tonight.
Just a little bit. I had a really good run on Bob there. And he entered it just a little bit higher than I thought he was going to, and had to get on the brakes and just kind of lost it. But I was trying to put on a show for y'all.
Well, you definitely did. Unfortunately, we saw you have issues there on the front stretch, getting into that outside wall there that during your heat. And then had to try to battle back. You had a great run going in the feature event, but just unfortunate. Got a little bit too sideways there through 1 and 2, trying to get up there to Bob the Good.
Yeah, sometimes track gives, sometimes track takes, and unfortunately she took a lot out of me tonight. But, that's just how it goes. Unfortunately, only 3 of us here. Hopefully we can get some more cars here in the future. That's just unfortunate car count.
Well, I'm worried if there's a lot of people absent watching qualifying tonight.
Yeah, there might be. And the entire basically the entire FTM crew is down in Volusia right now with Dean. Hopefully.
Well, hopefully we'll see it, but unfortunate. But I mean, worked out for you getting third place tonight. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank?
You for the broadcast, everybody behind the scenes for Coast to Coast, all the sponsors making this broadcast possible. JRB Designs for the great wrap. Go check them out. Venom, all the boys over there, great time. Jeff and Bob putting on a great run here tonight. I think that's it.
All right, well, congrats there, Brandon, and we'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully.
Actually, I think I gotta go out to dinner tomorrow night, so unfortunately I don't think I'll be around. Maybe I'll catch the pro lates, but...
Alrighty, well, we'll see. If not, we'll catch you next week.
Sounds good.
Alrighty, have yourself a great night there, Brandon.
You as well.
All right, now we'll get with Jeff Barker, our second place finisher. Good evening there, Jeff. How's it going?
Good. How you doing, Adam?
Doing all right. Well, most importantly, did you have fun out there?
Of course. Playing video games for a living. What could go wrong?
Well, I know some people might say that this isn't a video game, it's a simulator. I hear that debate all the time.
Yeah, I know. I'm just being funny.
I mean, I think you could honestly take a stand on either side of it, but I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing fairly well. A little sore here with my one tooth after visiting the dentist today. It seems like my teeth seem to hurt worse coming out of the dentist than they did going in.
Yeah, that's how they make you think that they don't know what they're doing. So you need them again.
So, but great job getting second place tonight. You did battle quite a bit there with Dittmer and Bob DeGood there a couple times throughout the night.
Yeah, I'm not feeling it tonight. I wasn't fast at any of the classes, and this was no different. Mine is on other things, and you know how it is sometimes. But yeah, I'd like to thank Regal Wraps Designs, obviously, for sponsoring us and putting the broadcast on, even though we only had a couple cars, because all the money bags guys had to go to Volusia for the week. And yeah, Jack had some family matters to attend to at the last minute, so he couldn't make it there. So.
No. Everybody's always in our thoughts, most definitely.
Yep.
So.
Yep. All good. But thanks for having us, bud.
Well, thanks for putting on the show. So, congrats. You got any other sponsors or shout-outs you want to thank there for getting second?
That's Coast to Coast Racing League for giving us a place to race. All of our broadcasters for giving us something to watch. And, yeah, that's about it.
Alrighty. Well, you have yourself a great night there, Jeff.
Thanks, Adam. You too, bud.
All right, with Jeff Barker. Now we'll get with Bob DeGood. Good evening here, Bob. How's it going?
Oh, it's going a lot better tonight.
Did you think you had the ability to get first tonight?
Not really, but the car is fast. It timed in fast. I was able to drive on the bottom, and getting the heat race win, I think, was pivotal. If I hadn't started on the pole, it might have been a different story, but the car drove really good on the bottom of the track, and I just held it down there and tried not to make any mistakes, and it all worked out.
Well, I know you ran your line very well, even though you had Dittmer there a couple times breathing down your neck, but unfortunate for him, he ended up sending it in just a little too hard and got a little too sideways through 1 and 2 and had to back out of it.
Yeah, this little track keeps you so busy that I really don't have time to look around very much. I don't have time to check the relative. I don't have time to see what lap I'm on. You just got to focus on driving and hitting the entry points on the turns. And, yeah, that's what you got to do.
Well, these little tracks, things happen so quick. I mean, you no sooner get out of the straightaway and all of a sudden you're turning into the next corner.
Right.
So, yeah, you definitely have your hands full looking forward for sure.
Yep.
So,
that's...
Well, you did a great job getting the victory. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting that victory tonight?
Well, I want to thank Regal Wraps and Designs for sponsoring the event, and thank Jeff Barker, my teammate, for putting up with me and giving me positive reinforcement along the way, and Coast to Coast Racing League for having a place for us to race.
Alrighty, well, congrats again on getting that victory, and you have yourself a great night. And
All right,
we'll see you around here, I'm sure.
Okie doke.
Well, that was Bob DeGood, your victory winner here in the Regal Wrap Midgets. Thank you all for tuning in and watching tonight. It is time for us to sign off here from Coast to Coast. Hopefully we'll be back a little later with the FMA over at Fleeger Farm TV. Again, this is Coast to Coast Racing Network and Fleeger Farm TV saying good night. Thanks for watching.
You